Good afternoon. Hello. This is Stephanie Ann Hare. Welcome to my show, Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Ann Hare. How are you doing today? Thank you for joining. Today I am going to make bruschetta spaghetti, and it's a really great simple dish that's pretty quick to make, and it's full of vitamin C and really great stuff, and only a few ingredients. I'm going to use these grape tomatoes, so organic grape tomatoes, one large yellow onion, organic, and one orange bell pepper, organic also, and then I have some fresh basil, it was living basil. I cut off the ends now, and then I'm also going to use some Italian seasoning, some organic Italian seasoning. So thank you for joining. So let me tell you about what's going on. So my show is about eating good, healthy food. Vegan, eating plant-based is very well known for having health benefits, but it's also very delicious and satisfying. And that's the thing that a lot of people don't know. I am an empowerment mindset coach, and part of the personal development to your best transformation of yourself and changing your lifestyle is to eat really good. And so these dishes are really great because the more fresh fruits and vegetables you add to your diet, the better off you will feel, and you will raise your vibration by eating these high vibrational live foods. I also am going to use some organic Italian seasoning here. So I've got my cast iron skillet going here. I'm going to turn the camera just a teeny bit. Hi, how you doing, Frank? And I've got my water all ready. I'm going to use spaghetti today. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and add my onion, my yellow onion, because we want to get that sauteing up very nicely. So I've got this great skillet here that we got for Christmas last year. A really nice cast iron skillet, and it's a very nice large one. I've got, I am using some olive oil, some organic extra virgin olive oil in the mix. So today I'm going to be making the bruschetta pasta sauce and a delicious fresh salad and some garlic bread. So those are the things. If you're watching, please tell me where you're watching from and tell me how you're doing today. So as I said before, you don't have to eat vegan all the time. People get so freaked out. They think, oh, I can't eat vegan, I have to eat meat or whatever. That's fine. What I'm trying to show you is that there are alternatives to cooking, and you can make very healthy side dishes that don't have any animal products in them. Or a couple times a week you can try out these recipes and have a delicious meal, and very easy to prepare, but it's also really affordable. So that is another benefit of when you are eating plant-based. It's a little bit more affordable than all the expensive meats and dairy products. So I've got a pot here with a strainer in it going over here, and I've got my onion going. And I'm going to go ahead and add my grape tomatoes, and I'm just going to add them whole and let them cook down. And then I'm going to add the orange bell pepper. So this is bruschetta pasta. So that means that this is what I would put into bruschetta if I was making you bruschetta. This is the same ingredients that I would put in, that we'd put it on a piece of toast. So we're going to get this going. It's a beautiful, colorful dish. And with all these I chose the grape tomatoes because they have such really good flavor. And I didn't want to chop them all up. I didn't want to do anything. I just want to throw them in, let them cook down, and they're going to create a really delicious sauce. So I've got my garlic chopped up here. I'm going to save part of it because I'm going to be making garlic bread. So I'm going to use about 2/3 for the pasta. I'm just going to mince it up a little bit better. It's a little bit too big still. So how are you doing? This is Thanksgiving week. This is a big week where people really start pigging out and eating all these lots of heavy meals and desserts and But the greatest thing is that you have all these get-togethers with your family, and it's so precious. I have 6 kids, and I have a huge family, and I'm soon to have 4 grandkids. And so with Frank and I, we've got 2 big families, and we have a lot of people in our lives, and we're so grateful and thankful. And so you should be too. This is a good time to look at what you have in your life, what you have going on, and really appreciate and be thankful for everything that's happening in your life, starting with just your basic life first, starting with just your basic life. So I'm going to leave a little bit for the garlic bread, and now I'm going to go ahead and add that to this mix. I'm going to turn it up just a little bit because this pan is big. So now we're just going to cook this down, get this going and cook it down to a nice fresh sauce. The beauty is this doesn't take a long time to cook. We're going to put some Italian seasoning. I love Italian seasoning because it's just got all the ingredients in there. It's got basil, oregano, marjoram, sage, garlic, all these mixtures. So I love to always have Italian seasoning on hand. I like the organic, and then I prefer to actually put it into my hand and crunch it up as I put it in, because I feel that that releases the delicious aroma and flavorings if you crunch it up a little bit versus just throwing it in. That's my own personal belief. I don't know if that's really true. But I like to use a heavy amount of that in any Italian cooking. It's really delicious, and you're going to start smelling it right away. Smelling that delicious fragrance. So, this is really great. Today I'm making enough because my mother-in-law, my mother-in-law, Frank's mother, I'm not married, I forgot. Frank's mother is coming. She's coming to the house Wednesday for Thanksgiving. So we're going to have her overnight. And I will be gone at work. So this meal is going to be left over, and they are going to have it on Wednesday night. So I'm already preparing dinner for later in the week so they can have a delicious, healthy meal when she gets here. So that's really exciting. And as I've said before, now that I cook these great meals at 1 o'clock on Mondays, we eat a really early dinner. And we've been eating so well. It's so nice. And then the rest of the day we have to goof off, which is really fun. So while we're cooking that, we're going to get our salad going. So let me just move over the garlic for the garlic bread. I'm going to still cut that up a little bit more. And with the garlic bread, I'm not going to use butter. I'm just going to use oil, olive oil, extra virgin olive oil on the bread with the garlic, and that's going to be delicious. Before I get started on the salad, I'm going to cut up my basil. I'm going to make sure I get rid of the stems and just have mainly the delicious leaves. So I'm going to cut out any stems I see, obviously, here. And basil is delicious, and I'm so excited that I might be able to have my own garden coming pretty soon. So I've got some really fun things in the works, and I will let you know more about it later, but I am excited that I might be growing my own vegetables for myself, and I will be having them on my cooking show. So that's going to be fun. The basil, I kind of like it to be big, so you don't have to really cut it up too small. I like it to be really good size here. So I'm going to go ahead and add that. It's Christmassy looking, green and red, all the tomato and then the green basil. It's delicious. If you love bruschetta, you're going to love this dish. Bruschetta is such a delicious, easy appetizer to have, and it's so good for you. You don't feel bad when you're eating it. Okay, we're just going to stir this around. The tomatoes are starting to cook. And we just want the tomatoes to break down. We don't care that if they're kind of whole, they're going to cook down, but we just want them to cook down. because this is a nice fresh sauce. So we're not looking for a puree spaghetti sauce here. We're looking for a nice chunky tomato sauce to put over our delicious organic spaghetti. And the spaghetti, and these ingredients you can buy at Safeway. This is what I love. You don't have to go to Whole Foods or a specialty food store anymore to get good, high quality organic ingredients. This is whole wheat spaghetti organic from Safeway. And so that's what we're going to use, whole wheat spaghetti. It's going to be delicious. So, give that a nice toss around. Oh, we're going to put a little salt and pepper in it. Let me grab my organic salt and pepper mills. I love these. It's the Himalayan salt and the ground pepper. And I'm going to give it a fair amount. Salt and pepper to your own taste. You can never go back if you put too much salt. So I prefer to use less salt and let people salt their own for the heavy salt eaters. My mother used to never taste anything. She would just salt everything first. So I like a lot of pepper. I will put a lot of pepper, but I'll go lighter on the salt when I cook things, and then you can decide how much you want to add. And the less salt you use, then you get used to it, and then it doesn't require as much. I notice I work in the restaurant business, so I watch people, they just salt their food before they even taste it. So they use a lot of salt, and so anything you would cook for them, you're going to need a lot of salt, because that's what the first flavor that they look for when they taste something is they need to have that salty flavor, because they consume so much salt. And we know salt isn't that good for you, so you want to use it sparingly. All right, so let's see. Got that going. We're going to get our salad. So I have some super greens here in a bowl already, and they're already washed and ready to go. Super greens are Swiss chard, arugula, and spinach. Really great stuff. Really good for you. So we're going to use that. Right now I'm going to set that aside because we're going to put some interesting things into the salad. This is where my salads always vary a little bit. But we're going to put avocado, some fresh organic avocado. We're going to put 2 beets. We're going to put a fresh pear. And then I've got fresh strawberry, blueberry, and raspberries that I'm going to put in my salad, and then use a really nice vinaigrette. And it's delicious. I'll move this over to this. This is cooking very nicely, just the way I want it to do. Tomatoes are starting to pop. So it's doing wonderful. So let me just rinse off my pear. And I'm going to go ahead now and I'm going to put the pasta in the water because the water's ready to go. And I'm going to use the whole pound. Let's see, this is, yes, 1 pound. So I love it. I have a strainer already in the pot, so I don't have to deal with all that. That's what makes life a lot easier. I learned that in the restaurant business. We're going to stir this around again. These tomatoes are starting to do their thing. They're starting to break down and give out all the flavor and the tomato delicious juice. So we're going the right way there. So things are happening here really nicely. All right, so I can turn that down a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to cut up this pear. This pear is a little bit crisp, but that's okay. That's going to be fine. So I'm just cutting the ends of it off, and I'm going to leave it in little strips, or big pieces actually. It's okay. This is a little bit of a crisp pear. You can use super ripe or crispy ones like this, and it's fine. A little end there to get rid of. Don't want any of the stem. I am going to cut them a little bit thinner strips. If there's any seeds, get rid of that. Pear really adds a nice touch in your salads. Berries add a nice touch. That's one thing. All summer long we have all the fresh berries in our salads, and that is one thing that I never see that I do when I go to a restaurant. I have such better salads at home. And another little trick that I do, I make my own salad dressing, but if you're not in the mood to make your own salad dressing, you can buy the Safeway brand Organics balsamic vinaigrette, and it's got all the ingredients. Then you don't have to buy all this stuff on the side. It's already mixed and it's great. I just use that and keep it on hand for in a pinch, and it really works out good. And it's a lot more affordable than buying the olive oil, the balsamic, if you don't usually have all that on hand. So I'm adding my pears. Now I'm going to cut up my beets. Let's give this another stir. Now we're going to go ahead and stir around the pasta. Got that going here. So stir this around, the whole wheat spaghetti. Delicious. Okay. Got that going. Got this going. If you need a little bit of fluid in this water here, you can take your pasta water and just add a little right into this to give it just a little bit more of a brothy. You don't want it to get all dried up. So that is going to make a nice sauce. I took 2 ladles of the pasta water and put it in my sauce, and that is going to be delish. That is looking good. Smells Italiano. Okay, so I'm letting that cook now. I've got some organic beets. I'm just going to slice them into rounds. Put in the salad. I love beets, and they're so good for you. And again, Safeway sells just steamed organic beets. They're not pickled. There's nothing bad in them. They're just steamed right there in the vegetable section. So I just get those. I love beets. They're so good for you. I'm going to add sliced strawberries. I'm slicing my strawberries. I'm just going to keep them big slices. And because you want to really be able to see your berries. And then I've got the blueberries and the raspberries, and that's going to be awesome. Okay, so I've added all that. Now let's check out our sauce again. Looking good. And let's check our spaghetti. Make sure you toss it around. And now we're going to get our bread. Let's do our bread. Okay. So, I've got a nice loaf of multi-seeded bread here. It's going to be delicious. So let me grab a serrated knife. Where is it?
9 minutes, 45 seconds.
Okay. So we're just going to cut this right down the middle. I'm going to pre-slice it so that you just barely have to rip it. Okay, then we're going to add the extra virgin olive oil to it. You're just going to go ahead and put some on. Make sure you get it all over really nicely. That's going to give it really good flavor. but you don't have the butter. And then I'm just going to sprinkle the fresh garlic all over the top. And that is going to be a delicious garlic bread without all the cholesterol and everything that you usually have. So we're going to put this in this pan. I've got the broiler going. So then we're going to broil this. So I'm going to go ahead and stick this into the broiler. If I can get it in there. So I have to keep watching that. Okay. So we've got that going. Your noodles are going. Your pasta sauce going. It's almost time. I'm going to add just a little bit more of that water because it's getting a little bit dry. And that's okay. You just use your own judgment because it just makes a delicious, flavorful broth. So don't worry. You don't have to load it up with water, but don't let it get dry. You want it to have a sauce, not just a bunch of vegetables that are sauteed. And that makes its own stock with all these delicious ingredients in it. Oh my gosh. I wish you could smell it. My eyes are burning from all the garlic and the onions. Okay, so let's get this avocado cut up. So tricky way for your avocado is to massage it to get it to release out of the skin after you cut it. You want avocado that will bend a little bit to touch so you know it's ripe enough when you touch it. So go ahead, I massaged it all around. Now I'm going to cut it in half. And now I'm going to cut it into strips. I'm a very hands-on person. I use my fingers a lot. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and swoop it right into the salad. I want it cut in big chunks, but it doesn't have to be perfect. If it's in smaller little chunks, it's okay. The main deal is I want some avocado in there. Okay, so get that all out. See, and then I just use my fingers to get it all out. All right. Okay, so our pasta's going good. Our sauce is going good. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit, let it simmer. Beautiful. Okay, so now we are going to dress our salad. And as I said, I'm just using this balsamic, which is delicious Safeway brand, but it's all organic balsamic, so give it a good, it's already got herbs and spices, but another time I'll make my own vinaigrette. It's really super easy to make. And I always have all that on hand. So I want to go ahead and give this a nice dress. Okay, then I'm gonna just use my fingers. My hands are clean. And I'm gonna toss this. Because you want everything to be covered, all this to be covered with the delicious vinaigrette, because that is going to just seep into all the delicious flavors from that fruit you have in there, and it's going to be just yummy. Okay, we're going to have to check our bread here because we don't want to burn that up, because your bread will go fast, go very fast on you. Let's check into the bread. And it's coming around pretty good. Our sauce is doing good. Let me check the pasta. It's doing good too. We're doing wonderful. Everything's coming around. That's Italiano. So I'm Stephanie Hare. I am an empowerment mindset coach of Planet Gratitude Clarity Coaching. I help you step into the best version of yourself personally, professionally, and spiritually. And part of that personal development means you need to eat good and take care of yourself. So that is why I developed this cooking show. I've been in the restaurant business for 40 years. I've owned my own restaurants, and I've cooked, I've designed, I've been a server, I've done everything, every aspect of the restaurant business. And this cooking show is out of the love of food. I love to serve food and have great conversations and have fun with it, but I also am very concerned about our health. So this is showing you how to eat the most high quality plant-based diet and live a great life and be the best you can be. So let me grab the plate. We're ready. It's phone calls, live TV. So here's your delicious salad. Look at that. Talk about deliciousness and healthy. Let's get the bread out. Let's get the bread out. Who let the bread out? The bread is just perfect. I'm gonna let it go another minute while I dish up the pasta. Okay, so you can cook your pasta whatever way you like. If you like it al dente or if you like it cooked longer. I'm gonna just go ahead and grab some. This looks good. Just gonna drain it. And then I'm just gonna spoon on some of this delicious bruschetta sauce. And there you have it. Look at that delicious bruschetta pasta. This is absolutely gorgeous. So now, let me get the bread, and we're going to add a couple of slices of bread to it. There we go. Got a homemade delicious garlic bread with herbs and seeds. So, here we are. Here is your delicious fall dinner. We have bruschetta pasta with a multi-seeded garlic bread, deliciously made with olive oil and garlic. And then we have this delicious seasonal salad. It's so great. We've got blueberries, fresh pear, raspberries, strawberries, and a balsamic vinaigrette. And with some super greens, so this is loaded with nutrients. And then we have this delicious, look at that, steaming hot bruschetta pasta. We have a whole wheat spaghetti with all the delicious ingredients of bruschetta. This is a delicious plant-based meal that you can make any night of the week and your whole family is gonna rave. So I am Stephanie Ann Hare. Thank you so much for joining me on Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Ann Hare, and I will see you next week, 1 o'clock, in Girls Gone Vegan with Stephanie Hare. Thank you so much, and have a really great week. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I'm so grateful for all of you, and please give gratitude for all the beautiful people in your life. Show some appreciation for everything around you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.